Hey Houston, it is time for your April 2024 market real estate update. I got a bunch of numbers, bunch of facts, and we're jumping to it this time on Ryan and Real Estate. Here we go. All right, Houston, can you believe we're already through the first quarter of the year? We're into April, things are blooming, and the real estate market is as well. And I'm gonna give you the numbers so to help best concisely give you the information about what the market is doing in Houston. Before I do that, let me just go ahead and say, if you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, give us a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, comments, please feel free to let me know. All right, here we go. So we're gonna look at the Houston real estate market. We're gonna look at three main areas, and here they are. The average days to sell a home, and I got all the numbers right here, and here we go. The average time it takes to sell a home is actually up a little bit. 2.8% is taking a little bit longer. It's going from 70 to 72 days to sell a home in Houston. The average sales price is up as well, and it is up 3.5%, which was actually predicted last year, and that's gone from $423,000 average price in a home to $438,000 here in Houston. And lastly, the amount of inventory on the market that you could go purchase a home is gone up as well, a whopping 23%, gone from 9,252 to 11,407 homes are on the market as we're filming this video. So what does that mean for you as a Houston homeowner? I'm gonna walk you through and show you what that means. All right, days to sell is up 2.8%. So we've gone up a little bit more time it takes to sell a home. Why is it taking more time to sell a home? There is a variety of reasons in which it could be. It could be from the shape, the condition, the area in which you're at, maybe slower than others, but in essence, the whole city of Houston is up. If you looked at actually price points, you'll see a difference there too. Homes that are under 400,000 or more, around 60 days, average 2 months to sell a home. And if you're above 700,000, it's taking you a whopping 102 days to sell your home. But the difference is a lot to do sometimes with the difference in the buyer pool for that particular neighbor. It could be the condition of your home. You know, in 2021, a lot of home sellers could get away with things like not making sure their property was turnkey. And so they're just kind of throwing up the market and not doing the things that buyers want. Right now, buyers are very picky. We'll get in that in a second, but that is one of the reasons that it's taking longer. And of course, with interest rates that continue to stay here in the kind of 6 to 7% rate, that is keeping less buyers into the market, which is going to take longer because you have few buyers to actually make those purchases. But here's a great stat and a couple of stats for you to know that how long your home sits market, what is the direct effect it has on your final sales price, not your list price, your final sales price. Homes that have been on the market for under 7 days sell at 99.7% of the list price. Crazy, right? That means you want your home to sell fast. Here's stat number two is if it takes between 30 to 60 days for your home to sell, you're only getting 95% of that list price. You're giving a 5% reduction just for it sitting on an extra 1 to 2 months. And here's the whopping stat for you. If it's taking over 180 days for you to sell your home, you're only getting 92% of that sales price, which in effect on a $500,000 home, you're basically giving away $40,000 because of how long your home is sat on the market. All right, let's jump into sales price increase. So you're like, Ryan, hey, I just heard you say homes are sitting in the market a little bit longer. Why are home prices still continuing to rise? Up 3.5%. And if you look at the stat for 2024, you'll see that it's not supposed to change. By and large, the reality is that there's still a very high buyer pool and a very low amount of homes on the market. Until you get into the 6 months of inventory, that's the only time that you would enter into a buyer's market, and Houston has not been there for almost 13 years now. Next question you might be asking is, Ryan, why has there been such an increase in homes in the market? The biggest figure we gave you so far is that there's been 23% more homes in the market now than there were a year ago. Why is that the case? I think there's a couple of different reasons and a lot of variables for a lot of these questions. We can't fully know the answer, but I think one thing might be is that we're finally out of the pandemic phase where People were like unsure about what they're gonna do. The interest rates are obviously have gone way up since then. And then that also forced other homeowners to go, hey, I'm not leaving my 3% interest rate. And now the great thing is that people realized, hey, the rates are probably at a new norm, or they're not gonna be dropping down back in the 2s and 3s, which we did see in 2020 and 2021. So I think there's been a lot more seller confidence of, hey, this is the market we're in, this is what we got to do. And so that gives them more confidence to get out there and sell their market. Also add in to the fact that home prices have continued to rise. And so maybe sellers are at a point where like, hey, I'm ready to cash out and take the return on this investment that I've made. That is one of the other reasons I believe that there's more homes coming on the market. Now you're asking, Ryan, where are we going for the market? Again, I'm no genie. I can't tell you where we're going, but here's where I really think. If you were to look at the interest rates and kind of where they're at, and over time, as interest rates continue to get lower, you tend to see more buyers into the market. That makes sense. And as you've already heard that the Feds have made a decision, at least for now, that they're gonna make 3 cuts over the course of this year. Maybe the first one's expected to happen by June. If you look at this number, it'll show you. And even if you look at the projections where Fannie Mae is putting things at, by the end of the year, they're saying that we could be in the 5s. And there is plenty of statistical data out there that shows once we get into the 5s that there is going to be a lot of buyer demand coming in, because there's so much buyer demand now. And that means when they get in the 5s, they're gonna be eating up all those homes, and then inventory will potentially get lower because more buyers are gonna buy homes. And then when inventory gets lower, there's less supply, more demand, prices will probably going to rise to the numbers I showed you in the graph ahead. So that's what I think is going to happen in the future. Here's the advice that I would give you. If you are a buyer, I would strongly suggest you looking at trying to buy right now rather than waiting for those interest rates to lower. You can always refinance, but getting a price locked in right now. Average time it takes homes to sell is at 72 days here in Houston, and that's going to keep prices from going way too high. But let me just tell you, when those days on market get lower, more buyers in the market, the rates get lower, you're going to have more competition. You're going to end up having to pay way more for a home than you would by buying it right now with less competition. So right now, it might feel like a little bit higher interest rates. Maybe you could get another percentage by waiting to the end of the year, but you're going to be locked in on that price right now versus having a competitive price in the future. If you're a seller, the most common thing that I see is if you want the most for your home, prices are still holding great. You can still get a great price from your home. If you look at the appreciation of your home over time, man, you're doing great right now, especially in the last 5 to 7 years. But if from the homes that I've seen that are selling for the most, it's the ones that are in turnkey condition. They're marketed correctly, their photos look great, they're fresh, they're clean, they're priced accurately, they're not trying to overreach on pricing. Those homes are still selling at great prices. You do not want your house sitting on the market for a long time, as you saw previously what that can do to your final sales price. All in all, that's where the market's at. Hopefully that's the most concise version I can give you. There's a lot of variables, a lot of different things. If you have a specific question, please put it in the comments, shoot me a DM, and we'll see you next time on Ryan Real Estate.